easiest thing ever. This cheater fabric has such fun prints on it. And if I had had to cut all of these blocks and piece them all together, it would have taken some time. Now it's all pieced for me, and I cover those seams, cover those lines. They're not even seams, so they're very easy to sew over because it's not even a seam, it's just a line. And I don't have to be nearly as careful as I do if this was all pieced and I had bulky seams underneath that I had to deal with. It's just super fast, and the result is going to be awesome. Look at these cute prints. And this will be a perfect throw for spring and summer. These bright colors. Chose to use white on this, but you could pick up any of the colors. I could have put navy 5/8 over the seams. I could have put lime green, would have been fun. There would be other colors you could use, but I think white's just going to tie it all in together. Typically do all the rows one direction first and then come back and do the second direction. But I wanted you to see how I am just, when I come back the second direction, I am just laying it over those first rows and stitching right over that where they cross over each other. And when it's washed and dried, you will not see the difference that there are more layers of fabric there. It'll all just look the same. I'm doing Chenille-It to finish the edge instead of binding on this quilt, and there'll be 2 layers of Chenille-It on the top and 2 layers on the back. And so I want to pre-cut one of those layers so that I can stitch both of those on at the same time. So I've got the long edge of the quilt, and I'm going to go 1 length, 2, so that's my 2 long sides. Then I will just turn the quilt around quickly and do the short end starting where I left off. I have 1, 2 of that, and that's going to be my cut piece for sewing on the binding layer, and the other layer is coming right off the roll. And stack those on top of each other and start the edge of the corner extended about 1/8 of an inch beyond my corner and 1/8 of an inch beyond my edge on the side that I'm sewing it to. I'm going to do a needle down so that I can
adjust my bias as I go along. But I'm just going to watch this as I go along and lift it up and make sure that I'm about 1/8 of an inch beyond that serged or zigzagged edge, and then stitch down the center of the tape. And I'm going to do that all the way to do the next edge. Just make sure that your two pieces are stacked on top of each other, and stitch down the center of the tape. And I want to use a slightly shorter stitch length. I'm doing a 2.0 stitch length on this. I'm almost to the corner. I'm going to make sure that I'm 1/8 of an inch beyond the edge. When I get close to the corner, I'm going to cut that off 1/8 of an inch beyond the edge and go off the edge. Just square that up, make sure it's nice and straight. Now I have a guide to start my next edge. Put my two pieces together. Bring those up and just match them with the piece that came across the other side. And it makes it very easy to start going down the other edge, the other side of the quilt. We can see the back layers of Chenille-It and where they cross at the corner, and that's where I'm going to start and line up. Now I can just line up my double layer. I have a cut layer and layer on the roll, and line that up with the back. I can see the back because I extended it 1/8 of an inch. And now I just line that edge up. And stitch that all the way down the front side of the quilt, lining the front up with the back as I go. Easy and fast. I don't have to be as careful on the top because I have a guide. Now with my chenille that's been stitched on the back is my guide for lining this double layer up. This side is going to go fast and easy. Once the edge is finished with the bias, I have it stitched on the back, double layer on the back, double layer on the top. The quilt is completely finished and ready to be washed. Washing a quilt with Chenille-It on it is one of the most important steps. It's the washing that is going to release the fibers of the chenille and create the texture when it's dried in the dryer. So I'm going to put this in a cold water wash, a regular cycle, run it through a full cycle. I prefer an agitating washer because it's the agitation that's roughing up that Chenille-It and releasing the fibers. If you don't have an agitating washer, most of the newer washers don't agitate. So put something in with your quilt, like a pair of sneakers, a couple of old towels, and run that through the cycle with the quilt, and then throw it in your dryer and dry on medium heat until completely dry, and you'll have a soft, fluffy texture on your quilt and on the edge of your quilt.